I would unite with anybody to do right and with nobody to do wrong. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So what are we looking at today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Sliding downwards a bit, red, right? Down 3%. So what does that mean, right? Where are we going? Crypto Daily the other day broke it down pretty good for us. We've seen different speculations of where the bottom could be. He told us pretty much nice and simply what the percentages would have been if we went down to these. We're looking at $3,450 something right now at the moment. Are we going to be going down to that $3,000 line? Are we going to be dropping down to the $2,500 line? And at the worst case scenario, are we dropping down to that $1,250 line, right? So it's another one of those situations of, do you want to take your cryptocurrency off the table, right? We've seen these situations before. A lot of us have decided that we shouldn't take our cryptocurrency off the table. Is this another one of those situations? Are we going to be seeing this bear market last even longer? Because on the flip side of all of this, like I keep telling you guys, it's a shake a magic 8-ball situation. We got articles telling us that this is a time of accumulation. Right now, you need to be, figuring out how to reduce your budget. Get that extra cash that you can go ahead and start turning into Bitcoin and accumulating it, right? Because the next bull market is coming, possibly as soon as May, maybe next year at the halvening, but still it's coming. So, what to do. It's always a matter of personal decision. It's always a matter of how much are you investing, what your finances are. But you know what is going on today that's absolutely great? Is that Samantha's over there hanging out in the chat.
Good morning, everyone.
So how are you today, Samantha?
I'm great.
You're great?
Great.
Oh, it's been a while since I've heard you say that, and I'm ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful Monday morning, right? Even though some people are down on Bitcoin, we're going to continue to stay optimistic about all of its freedoms, right? I think that's the best word to describe it, is that Bitcoin allows freedoms in multiple various forms. Even if it's through the semi-anonymity, or if it's even through, the fact that you can use it and still be, in some countries, a female, underage, a different color, right? Bitcoin doesn't care who you are. You could even be an alien. That's the funny joke a lot of people talk about, is that, or you could be a computer, right? That's one of the next big things is micro payments, where machines are paying machines in order to get things done.
Yes, the beginning of Skynet or whatever.
The beginning of Skynet.
But yes.
So I guess, Samantha, would you go ahead and pull up Coin Paprika? Let's take a look and see what we got going on over there. We got some news to get into today. We got some exciting stuff going on with the channel that we'll get into later on. And as always, we're going to stop. We're going to talk with the chat. So if you got questions, if you got comments, if there's something you want to, discuss on the show, please. That's why we're here. That's the main reason Samantha's on the sideline here taking care of the chat. We're not some 100K channel, right? We're not for profit. We're not trying to make a buck off anybody. We're just trying to spread the word of Bitcoin. We're trying to help people who need help when it comes to getting started in this stuff and storing their Bitcoins properly. All right, so let me see. What do we got going on over here at Coin Paprika? As you can see, that BTC dominance has come up 53.53%. I like that number. Quite nice. But we're looking at the market cap sliding back almost 5%, 4.9%, coming in at $112 billion. I think that's down about, what, 6? All right. So let me see. What do we got here? We got the BTC price coming in at $3,455.53. That's down 3.18%. That's down 3.17% on the week. So as you can see, this is the only downtrend right now for the last 7 days. I mean, I'd like to hope that it turns around, that we have seen the Bart Simpson hair pattern quite a bit in the charts, and we know that that is caused by bot trading. Is this just part of that? So many variables when it comes to figuring out these cryptocurrency prices, especially when it comes to figuring out the Bitcoin price. It just seems to be a little bit harder than some of these altcoins. Here we are at XRP, 28.9 cents, slipping down 5.9%, down 9.65% on the overall 7-day. Ouch. Hurts. Will they be losing that #2 spot to Ethereum? I don't know, because Ethereum's down to 105.
Oh.
right? They're down
Yeah.
8.36%, and that's down 10.37% on the overall on the 7-day. Once Ethereum dropped that $112 support line, they've dropped down here to the 105. Will we be seeing that $100? Will we be seeing that $98 again? It's potential if this red continues along, especially if Bitcoin comes down, because you know what happens when Bitcoin comes down, everything comes with it. All right, we got EOS coming in at $2.29. That's down 4.13%, down 3.62 for the overall on the week. We got Tether still here at $1. We got Bitcoin Cash at 111 and 89 cents. That's down 8.9% in the 24 hours and down 8.75 in the overall for the week. Slide down here a little bit. We got Litecoin almost $31 at $30.95. That's down 4.55 in the 24 hours and down only 0.5% in the overall week. So far, that seems like the best hedge so far this week. Whether or not it can continue along, I don't know. Certain places, of course, are going to be better places to haven the storm in the winter than others. Tron, wow, right? We've seen a little bit of Ivan's thing on Tron, few articles, 130-something% gains across the week. I mean, we're looking at them down 5% right now, up 11% on the week, coming in at 2.7 cents. I mean, a lot of buzz in Tron in both directions. I mean, of course, it is a gamble, but they are in the top 10. But we also seen BitConnects in the top 10. So, I mean, the top 10 really doesn't have as much meaning to it as it used to when I first got into the market. When I first got into the market, I used to be like, oh, the top 10, that really means something. Now we've seen things like BitConnects and things like that getting into the top 10. And
yeah,
I mean, we got Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision here in the top 10. Coming in at $65.94, down 9%, down 11.5% in the overall. Stellar Lumas, I skipped over them there for a second, and they are 8.7 cents, down almost 10% for the 24 hours, and down almost 15% in the 7-day. All right, let's slide down here to the 40s and see what we got going on with Steam.
No, Steam might be back in the 50s. You never know.
Oh, you're right. They slipped back down to number 52. And we got Steam coming in at 28.1 cents. That's down 9.98, so almost 10%. And, ooh, look at that 7-day slide back. I mean, still, it's only a half a retracement on what they were from the 50% gains they had 2 weeks ago, but still down 27.7%. Ouch.
That's a decent chunk.
All right. Do we want to see the Steam back dollar and see what that's going to be telling us? All right, let's see what we got going on here with the Steam back dollar. And 85 cents, telling us that these altcoins are undervalued, slipping backwards from the, 96 cents, 94 cents we were looking at yesterday. In the last 24 hours, that's down 4.78%. In the overall week, that's down 6.43. So I don't know if you'd like to use that as an indicator to tell you to start accumulating some of these alts, or if we will just be sliding down further and Bitcoin heading to that 1250. All right. As we have to do every single episode, we got a tally fund out here because it's getting closer and closer, because we are not for profit, because we are out here spreading Bitcoin awareness, because we are trying to pass out Bitcoin flyers to some of these millennials at EDC festivals, putting the tools necessary to get them started on Bitcoin and hold it properly with a Samurai wallet. We have to ask for a few bucks. So trying to get $600 together. It was a little more. We've gotten a little bit in cash. We've gotten $477.89 at the current Bitcoin price towards getting there. So we are almost there, 79.65% of the way. But as you can see, the tally fund is getting extremely close. We do have a little bit longer than this if you look at it in different lights, but we will be ordering our flyers in 2 days.
Yep.
That's the only way we can make sure that they, come in time in order for us to have them to be able to pass them out. This time around, because we've done this once before, right, Samantha?
Yes.
We went to
the
Electric Daisy Carnival in Orlando. And this time around, we're going to be going to the Forbidden Kingdom Music Festival. It's in Boca Raton. It's going to be February 16th and 17th. Let's pop over here. We can take a look at that. See, here we go. The Forbidden Kingdom Music Festival. Countdown 18 days.
Woohoo.
I can't wait to go. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. This is the first one that they've ever done. They're supposed to have a massive amount of speakers. As you go down through the lineup, you can see that we have some performers that we're actually excited about. I personally like Zomboy. We both find Bear's Grills.
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls, hilarious. Few other good bands or DJs in here if you're into that kind of music. But what we found mostly is that these millennials, I guess we'd like to call them, are actually pretty receptive to, hearing the word of Bitcoin. And a lot of them have heard of Bitcoin already, and they do value it and see it as a form of money. So maybe we will turn some more people onto Bitcoin. Maybe we can help expand our user base here a little bit. I mean, there is no marketing department, right?
Yeah.
The only way that this is going to happen is if I get out there and tell people about Bitcoin, if you get out there and tell people about Bitcoin, if everybody that's into Bitcoin gets out there and turns one or two more people onto Bitcoin, eventually we'll get the entire world involved. And that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Giant game of telephone, as long as it, keeps the message.
But here we go once again. Some people, they're busy, right? They got family, they got kids, they got lives. I mean, we know all about it. We got all those things too. But we like to do it. We get really excited about it. We have a great time doing it. I love shaking hands. I love telling people about Bitcoin. So maybe some of you guys aren't all that great at explaining what Bitcoin is or turning people on to it, or really just don't have the time to do it. This is a great way, like a carbon offset, in order to be able to donate a couple dollars and help the event, make it happen. And of course, on the flip side of all of this, we'll have as much B-roll footage and photographs and everything else that we can get during the event to not only show you that it happened, but show you how much of a good time we had. And I have gotten all your requests. I will bring back as much rave booty as possible for you all.
I'm wondering how they're doing medieval, like, EDM-ness. I don't know.
I think you're excited, Samantha. You just want to get a big turkey leg and, like, jam out.
Yeah. I liked medieval times. I remember all the high school trips. It was awesome.
As you can see, though, I have to stop and say thank you, Paul Rouleau.
Yes.
Our largest donator, Paul Rouleau, has once again graciously given to our tally fund here at this last one here at it's $74, I think it was at the current price, probably something different. Here we go, 0.020925 BTC. So thank you, Paul. I mean, we love you. It's amazing how much you've done to help be able to spread the cause.
Pretty much 4 of you have gotten us this far. It's awesome.
As you can see here, this was us this was me and Samantha carrying the cameras, as always, staying off camera, showing us passing out flyers.
The best selfie stick ever, buddy. Okay.
All right. Well, let's stop begging for money because it makes me uncomfortable. Let's go ahead and pop out the backyard so we can see what we're doing. And let's pull up the chat because that's the most important part of all of this, right, Samantha?
It's pretty important.
I mean, besides the fact that, Bitcoin is what Bitcoin is, it's peer-to-peer. So without me and without you guys out there communicating financially back and forth on the network, really, what good is Bitcoin? That's why a lot of people talk about, that we have to utilize the Bitcoin network. That's part of it, is that we can't just hodl always, getting a hardware wallet and putting our couple $100 worth of Bitcoin in it. That's all great and dandy, but we do got to send a little around on the network. I mean, one of the biggest complaints I hear a lot from people is that they think they're going to get rich quick, or they think that there's some way that they're going to make a lot of money when it comes to Bitcoin. And it's really, those aren't the concepts that make Bitcoin great. It is about a small period of accumulation over a lengthy period of time. Like you accumulate small bits over a long period of time in plans for the future. Or you have to make a business, such as we've kind of done here. We've seen lots of other people make crypto businesses, right? And start receiving payments in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Therefore, you only have to cash out part of it. And it's easier to save larger quantities of it. Because if you're not really rich, if you're not having excess financial fiat, it's hard to make a lot of money in Bitcoin. You think you're going to go out there and trade, and you don't. You get suckered into the scams because you want money. You want your life to be better. And you see Bitcoin as a great thing, and you think that it's a little greater than what it is. You think that there's a great opportunity to be able to become rich overnight. And really, that's not what Bitcoin's for. That's not what's going to happen. Bitcoin is here to help teach you what real money is, what better money is, and what real investments are. All right, Samantha. So what do we got going on in the chat? Do we got anybody hanging out with us? Or am I just kind of cold out here drinking the coffee on this Monday morning I'm not by my lonesome because you're here.
Yes. No, you're not alone. Okay, so Paul Rouleau started us off with a $5 super chat right off the
Paul
bat.
Rouleau, my man.
Oh, thank you, Paul. You're awesome. Andy Anderson says, hello, Cornelius is here.
Andy, my man. Cornelius, buddy. It's been a minute.
Tune is here. She
Tune.
says, good morning. I went ahead and got a bit more BTC over the weekend. Oh, hi, Tune. She says, hi.
Awesome, awesome.
JK says, good morning. Truth Monster says, sup, hooligans. And Tune says that I like the global aspect of BTC and that it's ours.
Yes.
Those guys, you know. It is. I mean, that is the closest thing for the people that I think we've ever gotten, ever. And Cornelius
well, I mean, you can always go back to the white paper and the Genesis block. And I mean, Satoshi did create this to be for the people.
Yes.
I mean, it deliberately talks about bailing out the banks and why this stuff, you know, we need a currency that is accountable.
That crap is old, okay? I mean, it is ridiculous that is the solution to it. Oh, and Cornelia says Skynet will be the real Genesis block. I know. But yes, I mean, like, it is so repetitive, and that is literally their Band-Aid. And it's like, you can't even come up with a better Band-Aid. Like, every 10 years, let's just do the same old, and who cares? A couple more $1 trillion in that pretend debt that we're never going to pay.
I don't know. It feels like, I don't know if it's just me personally because of, you know, being in Bitcoin for the last 2 years that I've started, like, you know, my eyes have been opened a little more to the situation, or if it really just is that things are starting to come to the surface more. But it feels like there's a change that is going to happen. People are tired of the way things are with money.
Yeah.
You know, people are talking about there's another recession coming, and people are seeing this coming down the pipeline and saying that they don't want to go through this again. They don't want to bail out the banks. They don't want to have to go through all of this. Oh, I lost half my money in my 401k. The value of my house is I'm underwater and blah, blah, blah.
It's better for me to claim bankruptcy. Like, yes, these things where it's like, really, that's what we do.
And then we're looking at new generations, right? Like, we're starting to become in our 40s, right?
Yep.
And we're starting to become the next generation that's in charge of the financial wealth of the world. And we're also starting to look at our children become not really children anymore, right? We're personally looking at our own son, like 200 days or something, and he's going to be a man because he'll be 18.
Yep.
These people, these children, as you know, from my perspective, they see Bitcoin as money. They don't see a difference between it because they never actually taught these children what money was in school.
Yeah.
To them, it's indistinguishable, which I find is a slight plus. You know, ignorance is bliss a little. You know, if they see it as, if I can take it and exchange it for the goods and services I want, that's money.
I mean, I know when I took economics in high school, and I mean, you know, it was my junior or senior year, they said how, you know, like the actual dollar got created and that it was supposed to be back to gold and okay, but then, I mean, they kind of really brushed over from like the 1920s to like
today,
present. Like they stopped at when it really started getting screwed up and complicated. And it's like, but they don't even get told that part. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we had a small basis of what we thought our work and our wages and our stuff was based off of, and that was a lie. But they're not even getting the lie.
I took an introduction to business class when I was in college, and most of the semester, it was mostly learning about what a limited liability corporation was.
Right, yes.
And incorporated, and removing yourself from the equation of the business so that if something goes wrong,
right, the orgs and
they sue the business, which can be file bankruptcy and close down. And instead of them suing you personally,
right,
and you like messing your whole life up because you can't just file bankruptcy as easily as you can close down a business.
Right. Which is, such a great idea. Yes.
I mean, and that's the first thing they teach you. That is the beginning of business, is you separate yourself from the business so that when something goes wrong, you can just close down the business.
Protect yourself, because, you know, the likelihood your business is not going to fail.
Oh, yes. They start off by teaching you the statistics of restaurants and all these other types of businesses and what the likelihood of failing is. And I mean, the numbers are stacked against you.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be like 7 years before businesses start raking actual profit. And I mean, it's ridiculous. It is. Okay, continue.
All right. Is there anything in the chat that we should address, or should we just
Nope.
start digging deep into this news?
Nope,
All right.
we're good.
So I got 3 pieces of news, as I always seem to do. And the first one, local Bitcoins, right? Back in the day, that was the easiest, the best, right? I used local Bitcoins once.
I wouldn't say the simplest, because I mean,
simple is not really the word for local Bitcoins, especially in the beginning. It was quite a deterrent. That's why Coinbase did so well, right? Because local Bitcoins was around here before Coinbase. It's a peer-to-peer exchange, right? And what that means is there's not really the same order books as you would see at a normal exchange. I'm sure lots of you guys have used local Bitcoins, or at least stopped over there and taken a look at it. There's different ways to be able to purchase Bitcoins. You can do bank transfers. You can go meet somebody in person. They use it as an escrow service. You have a wallet, an account with them that you deposit your Bitcoins in. And what they're saying is they had an unauthorized breach. Okay? So, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
And they were saying that due to this unauthorized breach, they were able to gain access and send transactions from affected accounts. Luckily, we're looking at 6.
So they got into the escrow,
they got into people's individuals' accounts. And they were able to do this through. All right, I got more on this. What happened was they were able to get into people's individuals' accounts, and they were able to get into 6 different accounts.
Okay.
From what I gathered, I read 2 different articles on this, and they both quite weren't the same. One wasn't given as much detail as the other, but from one of the articles, what I gathered is that this was through a third-party software to allow them to gain access to the wallet. There was a false site that came up where they had to log in, and they were putting their credentials to log in. And then from the phishing of the credentials, they were able to go back to local Bitcoins and access their wallet.
Right.
They were able to take about, let's see, what do I got here? I got 8 Bitcoins, so that's about $28,000.
Ooh.
So from 6 people, I mean
that's I would be happy with that amount of money, but I mean, yes.
And this happened on the 26th at about, I got 10 UTC time.
But for criminal, I mean, I don't know. That's really could possibly be a lot of jail time. I mean, yeah.
I'm seeing good and I see bad. I mean, I see that it's good they only got a hold of 6.
Yeah,
right. It seems like that's
people. Yeah.
We keep hearing about these hacks are getting less money.
Yes.
And less people.
Yes, like the schemes and the hacks are getting less people actually. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great because that means that the people that are in cryptocurrency know what the scams are out there, know how to avoid them, and possibly when we get the next influx of new users, we'll be able to disseminate this information of how not to get caught up in this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's how nobody actually, Western uses the Nigerian prince anymore.
Right.
Nobody talks about it. You just know. No.
I'm not Western Union anybody anything in Africa ever.
Yeah, I mean, yes. It is good and it's bad. I get where you're saying where it is only 6 people. That does kind of make me happy, But.
Well, I mean, we could be looking at thousands. Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily hundreds of thousands.
But probably
local Bitcoins is around the world.
Is a lot.
So, all right. So here we go. We got a little bit more news to dig into. Of course, you guys know what my favorite news stuff to talk about is Lightning Network. You guys know I love it. Ever since it came out, it'll be a year in March since the beta version was launched. And I mean, I've been a Lightning fanboy since the beginning. I think it's great. I think it is the best solution out there for making Bitcoin merchant accessible, right? Of course, the volatility in the Bitcoin price is going to be one of the biggest holdbacks for merchants accepting it. When you sell a pack of gum, they're only making 5 cents off of it. You could lose that 5 cents like that and be underwater. Now you're just handing out gum at the store, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could see that too, where yes, your
just using simple analogy
is going to be dropped because.
So, of course, but you got to have the infrastructure there first, right? We've seen this already. We've seen a lot of people want to get on board and start trading Bitcoin during 2017 with the big run up to 20K. And they had a brick wall pretty much and couldn't get access anywhere through getting the Bitcoins at Coinbase or half of the other places to getting an exchange to getting any kind of KYC done. And then the only things that were left available to them were scams and they all got ripped off. So Lightning Network, right? Been around for a year, beta, been growing tremendously, and here just in the last 30 days alone, we're looking at another 36% increase in the number of channels, bringing it up to about 22,000 channels.
Nice.
Big plus right there.
I mean, that was the problem when we started trying to hop on and stuff. If it's like, oh, we don't have a node. Like, what do,
well,
how do we?
Talking about nodes, in just the last few days, they've had a 16% increase in nodes. So, I mean, as the cryptocurrency market cap comes down, as we're continuing to see the BTC dominance climb, as we're starting to see people lose faith in some of these altcoins, Bitcoin second layer is getting stronger. You can see that people are becoming more invested back in the original Bitcoin, or else why would they be opening up all these channels?
Yeah.
Why are people running nodes?
Why are you staking your Bitcoin if you, yeah.
So, I mean, this is all great news,
yeah.
right? I mean, hopefully we'll continue with development. I mean, we have, I think there's 6 different groups that are like full-time working on Lightning Network development. Plus it's open source, so anybody can be working on Lightning development. I mean, personally, what we've been able to get in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it was that we were able to get the wallets that we can send and receive Lightning payments without having to run our own nodes. That's a big plus there, I think, for getting the average everyday person, not just having the Eclair wallet so you can buy stuff, but also receive.
Yeah.
Receiving is, you know, a big part of the whole.
The tipping me, and it was like, well, that's cool, but if anybody throws anything in here, how do we ever do anything with it? Now we have, like, yes.
I still keep coming back, though, to the next big step I'm looking for is to be able to pull how we're running. We don't have a Lightning node, right? Yeah. But we have Lightning wallets that we can send and receive. We got a couple different ones. I still need to find a way to be able to pull Lightning Bitcoin back to the main net through third parties.
Right. Yeah, reverse back. Like.
Right. And once I can find that, then I'm not seeing any flaws. I see that the system is complete circled and that we can continue to move forward from there.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now that is the only kind of open-ended area. Is it's like, well, okay, but if I don't want to, how do I get it back? Yeah. I'm sure somebody's coming up with that in some think tank thingy somewhere.
I mean, we have the developers coming out saying that there's been tremendous activity in the past few months. So I think that's great. I mean, you know, the price has been coming down and we've been talking about saying over and over and over again that even though it doesn't do any good, the fundamentals of Bitcoin have been getting better and better every single day as Lightning Network opens up more channels and, you know, if the hash rate has doubled and everything is becoming more secure on Bitcoin and everyone is seeing it as more of a legitimate form of money that is secure, price keeps coming down. So, I mean, they're not quite, you know, going hand in hand. They will, though.
They will.
It cannot continue along. So, I mean, it's always just a matter of what is your perspective? Is your perspective just, you know, how they say zoom out on the price chart?
Get
you know,
the big picture.
What's the picture? What are you looking at? You know, I mean, you're thinking 3,000 is the bottom, then hey, it wouldn't hurt buying now. What's a little less Bitcoin if you're looking at selling in a year? But I mean, if you really think that we're going down to 1,250, you're going to want to hold out because you're going to get twice as much Bitcoin. So, you know, there's always these individual decisions that are the hardest ones. And, you know, I've started receiving some more emails and hearing from people on Twitter that are, I think it's starting to get a little buzz going because I've heard, how do I make money in Bitcoin? And that's the problem, is that there is no one answer per person. Everybody has to, it's like the Swiss Army tool. You know, everyone's going to find a different tool that they can use for their situation because everyone's situation is different.
Right. Maybe the scissors are your thing. Maybe the file is somebody else's.
Maybe you got to open it up with the corkscrew, you know. So I found what my niche is. You know, Bitcoin isn't just the answer, it's the tool.
Because, I mean, yes, you really have to think, like, just like, I mean, Andreas says it, and I mean, there's lots of it. You have to find out what your reason is, because if you don't have a game plan, an end goal, then what are you doing? Because you're going to do every single thing in this space, and not all of it's good. If your goal is to make money now, well, there's a column of things that you can do that will make money now. I mean, you have to figure out whatever you're going for, because, and ours is long term. I mean, ours is not money right this minute. Ours is money for our children and for our retirement. So we huddle. I mean, but you have to figure out what you're doing.
So what do we got going on in the chat over there today?
No one is talking, but people are here.
Oh, they're gonna put you out of work, Sam. I might as well just come out here by myself.
You know, right?
No, I'm just joking, you guys. We got to keep Samantha out here. We love her commentary.
Sure. So insightful.
We got to get you a little sound effect board.
I know. One of those keyboards. Wah, wah, wah.
But don't.
Yep. But shh. Yes. You know.
Something to help keep you entertained if they're not going to keep you busy, right?
Right. Touch buttons, anyways. Okay.
Okay. All right. The last little bit of news, and then I guess we'll talk about the channel and what we think we got up and coming, because we got some big things coming down the pipeline. So please don't just turn off after this last little news bit.
The spiel will be different.
The spiel will be different, right? All right. We got Iran. We've been hearing about them.
We have.
All right. They've been sanctioned. I think it was back in November, right? Donald Trump put more sanctions on them. I don't know. I try to stay out of politics.
There's a lot of people we're banning, and apparently.
So, all right, we're looking at Iran. They want to create their own state-backed cryptocurrency, or we've heard conversation and talk of this, right? Well, now from the news article I read today, which I have no idea whether or not it's true or not, because they like to pump FUD and FOMO out in the news based on who's paying them. We're seeing that a 2-day conference that's supposed to be coming up called Electronic Banking and Payment Systems. It's going to be January 29th. It's going to be in the capital of Iran. And we're looking that they might be talking about the release of this cryptocurrency that's state-backed. Because of the banking ban. A bunch of banks in Iran were banned in November. All right, because it looks like I wrote here last summer is when Trump put the sanction on them. And then we're looking at in November, a bunch of the banks got banned from the SWIFT system, which is pretty much how all these countries are capable of doing commerce back and forth across the borders, which is what we're trying to replace pretty much with, a lot of this cryptocurrency stuff, because it takes days.
Yes,
it can take 24 to 72 hours to send a transaction across a state line, or not a state line, a country line.
Yeah, I mean that is a lot, but I guess,
with these banks being banned from the SWIFT network, they're not completely capable of transacting with the rest of the world. Big problem, right?
Yeah, you can't buy their stuff. They can't buy your stuff. I mean, yeah.
So what are we looking at? Like, why would they go and create this state-backed cryptocurrency? Well, to skirt around these sanctions. You can't stop cryptocurrency transactions. But the big problem there is you got to get other countries on board with you that are taking these state-backed cryptocurrency. We've seen a little bit.
There's people,
We've seen this already coming out of Venezuela a little bit with the petro, but looks like that's dying off now that we don't have Maduro as the dictator, and we're looking at this new guy who's being sponsored by the USA. So of course they're not going to want to continue along with these sanctions. They're going to want to take the aid money instead.
Of course.
So, but here we are looking at Iran, possibly with some partnerships out there that are not really.
Yeah, just think of all the people that that we aren't friends with.
Russia, Turkey, a few of them, but it's not necessarily brought to light. They're saying that they're not. This stuff is kind of on the DL if this is going to be what it's going to be, because we're talking about getting around the U.S. sanctions, right? We're talking about how the U.S. tries to keep everybody else in check.
Yeah, I mean, this is how they're going to start paying and buying other people's crap, and they're going to buy their. I mean, this is import and export. I mean, that.
Well, of course, baby steps, right? They're going to start off locally, right? They're going to start off with businesses paying other businesses inside the country. Then they're going to expand it a little further and have people paying businesses and services in it. Okay. Then we might be looking at a situation of it expanding beyond the Iran borders and into other countries, as other countries
believe it,
believe in the value of the cryptocurrency and the state back.
Okay, right. We'll take your blankety blank. Yes, that.
It's a step in the right direction. I mean, cryptocurrencies, of course, are becoming absolutely undeniable in my book. The problems with the fiat dollar and how the U.S. is controlling the world through its U.S. sanctions and trying to financially manipulate everything is not going to continue forever. People are tired of it. Yeah, there are a lot of countries out there where, we all should be equal.
Yes, and they're
not getting a they're not getting a fair shake. And the U.S. dollar is the tyranny behind it.
Yes, after a while, you really want to figure out a way to just stick it to you. You know, I mean, we oppress a lot of people. I'm not saying, you know, I mean, presidents for quite a while don't like it banned. Like, that's it. So I'm sure there's lots of, we're thinking big, giant countries and stuff. There's probably thousands of little teeny tiny countries that don't even register, and we don't even consider that. Also, what I mean, so many people can benefit, I guess, for the behind our back transactions. I mean, that's what they're going for, is that everybody that we don't like want to band together and be like, well, screw it, we're still buying rice from Joe to pay, you know, Pablo over there. And
I mean, eventually cryptocurrency will become a standard every single day occurrence in everyone's life. It's just a matter of adoption. And of course, the volatility and adoption are going to go hand in hand. The more people adopt it, the less volatility there will be. And we are early days. That's why we are talking to people about picking up just a little bit, because you really don't need a lot if you don't get flooded out by the price and the news, and you're looking at retiring. Like you said, Samantha, I am going to be, how old am I going to be? 37?
30,
36?
37.
I'm going to be 37. So I got a little while, right?
Yes.
I got 20 years. We've only had Bitcoin for 10. Where are we going to be in 20 years from now? What is that $5 to $10 a week going to do for me?
Yeah.
Across the next 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the difference. That's the problem, though, is it's hard to think that way, especially when you get wrapped up in all of the things that consume your every single day life. You know, like paying taxes, and I got to rotate my tires, and you know, my son needs this, and I think there's a roof on the leak, or the roof has a leak, and at work this guy's bothering me, and you're not thinking, okay, well, someday I'd like to just sit at home. And how do I make this happen?
See, I just think like all of these countries and all of these governments are trying to take a cryptocurrency and spin it for their own intentions, you know, like, right. I mean, including they're trying to make a whole little daisy chain of transactions of all the countries that, you know, can't be in the cool kid group. But the problem is, I mean, just like we were hearing about Venezuela, they weren't using the petro. Like, the point is that we all just need to be using Bitcoin.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, that's going to take a while for everybody to start realizing that why don't we just peg it to our yen and to our this and to our that, because that's not the point. Like, yeah,
I think we run into a situation where, due to the earliness of Bitcoin, that we're going to have multiple stages to get people comfortable. And yes, at first there's going to be all of these state-backed cryptocurrencies that come out, where people move from a physical paper money into a digital sense of money.
Yes, because you're still comfortable with your country's fiat more.
But the volatility is more of the bigger issue. And until everyone goes into Bitcoin, the volatility is still going to be an issue. And people aren't going to want to get into it with the volatility. So they're going to go into the state-backed cryptocurrency. But then when the state-backed cryptocurrency starts having the same problems we see with the altcoins, 51% attacks, backdoors, hacks, this and that, then they will move into Bitcoin, because they've had the knowledge of what cryptocurrencies are and how to send and receive.
Yeah, but you're going in like back ass where that's sucky that you are going in. But yes, I know. I guess everybody can't find Bitcoin first. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can take the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'd rather have them get there through a long, painful process, you know,
yes,
and get there than not at all. Yeah. I just know that because I got there first, I'm going to have the first mover advantage, as they're all sitting there trying to figure out how to get Bitcoin finally and buy their milk, bread, and eggs with it, because their state-backed cryptocurrency is all messed up. I'm going to have a bunch of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be sitting in my bunker or on my yacht or wherever I need to be based on the world situation.
Oh, and down the rabbit hole we go. Okay. There is still no one talking in the chat, so continue onwards.
Okay. So that's it. That's all we got for the news today, Samantha. So
yep.
What do we got going on, right? Talking about some new stuff going on with the channel. Me and Samantha have made some changes. of what we got going on. So we're looking at trying to bring you guys more. We're looking at a big push here. We're looking at an explosion of Bitcoin and coffee. We're looking at the next 60 days. We're going to be trying to see if we can't up ourselves to the 3,000 viewer mark. Yeah. Right. We're coming in at 2,100 right now. You know, we've been sitting on the sidelines a little bit during this bear market, but if you want it, you got to go out there and get it.
Yep.
Right. So we're going to be leaning on you guys as our foundation, because you guys have been the ones that have been here. Not financially. That's not what we're looking for. We need you guys to start coming on over to our other different social media and giving them the thumbs up, the like, the share, and commenting, all of that stuff. We need you guys to start sharing out these YouTube videos. We need you guys to start sharing them on Twitter and coming on over there and liking and commenting. Like I said, we have the Forbidden Kingdom Music Festival coming up here in, what was it?
18 days.
18 days. So we're starting now. We're going to push and start trying to educate ourselves some more between now and the event. Today, I'm going to start trying to figure out how to use streaming labs.
Yes, to make our streams
streams better. Right now, YouTube sends you to Google Hangouts. We've been using Google Hangouts. I love you, Samantha. Samantha is not the most technical person.
So
Google Hangouts was very simple for her to be able to access and use and do the screen share. But she is willing to participate and is going to up her technical game for you guys, just as I've been trying to do constantly. And we're going to learn streaming labs today, tomorrow, the following day, probably.
Yeah, for however long it takes.
See if we can't bring you guys some better streams. All right. What else do we got? You got to hit the notification bell.
Yes,
right.
Please,
that is very important. You have to hit the notification bell. I guess YouTube has been downing crypto lately. Even if you are a big 100K subscriber,
we've been hearing lots
people
of
haven't been getting a notification. But we're looking at trying to see if we can't bring you some more shows.
Yeah,
we're looking at possibly a show tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're going to be a little later, though, because we want to expand it for the audiences. We've had trouble with people in California and the rest of the world complaining that they haven't been able to get access to our show because we are so early at 8 o'clock here Eastern Standard Time. I know those of you guys that have appreciated this early time, we will continue Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 8 o'clock. We will see if we can bring the other episodes later on, possibly later in the morning, and maybe some evening episodes. We're going to mix it all up. That's why the notification bell is really important. We're going to see if we can't bring you guys something almost, a couple extra days at the week starting off. But as we move closer towards the end of the 60 days, because I am talking about a 60-day run here of us really hitting Bitcoin and coffee hard and making it our #1 priority. So everything you guys can do to help is going to be great. All right.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Come on the show.
Yes. You guys, that's something you really can do to help. Come on the show. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on the email. Tell us your crypto story. Tell us what you got going on, why you love some altcoin, as long as you give us a couple minutes about Bitcoin. Just come talk about crypto. Everybody seems to like it when I have the guests. We always seem to do a little better. We're working on getting more equipment so that we can make the guests even better, like the situations of separate mics and screen shares. Like I said, we're getting streaming labs going, so that'll help make it even better. So please hit me up if you want to come on the show. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have it all boiled out and worked out yet, but let's just know I got a lot of stuff going on up here. I got stuff coming down the pipeline. The next 60 days are going to be an adventure. I'm thinking about possibly some giveaways. I'm thinking about possibly
real giveaways, people like that. Real ones.
What?
Real giveaways. How everybody has their stupid little hashtags of, fake giveaways. Continue.
Yes, not necessarily cryptocurrency giveaways, more of product giveaways. Like I might have some Bitcoin and coffee T-shirts or mugs made up and give those away.
We will have a sticker here eventually to actually show you.
Well, I have to order them still.
We're almost there though.
It's going to say Viva la Bitcoin though.
For sure.
For sure. That's what we've decided. All right. Was there anything else that we wanted to tell the people about what we got going on here with the show?
I'm trying to think. All of the lovely medias.
I mean, it's pretty much that we're going to be pushing for 3,000. You're going to see a lot more of us. You're going to see us getting out here. We might come out here and stay out longer. I'd even talked about Samantha, half joking around, half real, about a telethon, trying to get people to come out and talk to us about cryptocurrency and what their real problems are. And remain anonymous if you want. But I really want to hear what people's problems are in cryptocurrency and how I can help point them in the right directions. There's so much to this.
Tune says, I will work to learn streaming labs and maybe be a guest someday. Cool, dude. And Tune says, Redbubble has Bitcoin and coffee shirts already. You should pair up with whoever that is on Redbubble. I don't even know. Now we're going to have to go look, because how does somebody have our Dubers?
I know at one point somebody had tried to rip off my channel, and that there is another Bitcoin and coffee out there, but they have no videos and no
they had like
subscribers.
1 or 2, and that was it. And it was.
I know I reported them to YouTube multiple times, and nothing actually happened. So there's not much I can do personally.
Yeah, but they started like a year after you. Like, yes, it was not even. It was 2 dudes. I mean, that was it, and they didn't even do any. Like their video was like 3 minutes. So I don't know.
I know that at this point in time, I have enough content out there where if you start plugging things into the Google bar, I'm the one that show up. If you put Bitcoin and coffee, I come up. If you put what else was I saying?
Now if you put in like Forbidden Kingdom.
Yes, if you put a Forbidden Kingdom, I come up more than the Forbidden Kingdom people do, because I have all the Forbidden Kingdom hashtags.
We had EDC on lockdown too, man. It was like, oh yeah, look.
I just hope they don't catch me at the door and be like, that's the dude with the tags. Don't let him in. He got the Bitcoin stuff.
Right? No, that's the one with the flyers.
I had noticed that on the most recent Forbidden Kingdom, they switched it to Forbidden Kingdom Music Festival 19 to change their hashtag. I don't know if that was because
they wanted to get away from you. Oh, you never know. All right,
you guys. I got all kinds of tools, links, and affiliation codes listed down there below. It's the same as it's always been, but that's one of the things on my list that I plan on changing and altering. I know there's a lot of older links down there for like Litecoin and the Flippanines and things like that, and I know that that's not necessarily what's on people's minds anymore. So I'm going to be going through those. I'm going to be going through those and making them a little more up to date, eliminating some of them, even though they're still saved in my personal bookmarks. Besides that, please hit the thumbs up on this video. The number of thumbs up has been down recently. We know that this is how YouTube generates, views and puts this in other people's sidebars and all of that stuff. Like I'm saying, I'd like to make a good push with the channel. So anything you guys can do to help us out, any of your friends, anything on your other social medias like Facebook and Twitter and stuff that you could share this video out to even bring 1 or 2 people to the show, it's going to be a big plus. I'm actually thinking about reaching out to a few other YouTubers and seeing if I can get them on my show or me go on their show in order to help bring some more viewers, because I know every time I do Bitcoin Ben, I get a lot of subscribers. So thank you, Bitcoin Ben, for everything you've done. I know his event coming up in April, I would really like to make it to, but I'm not so sure about that. I thought about doing a tally fund for it, but I don't know if I was thinking about taking a break from the tally fund for a minute, because I hate asking for money.
And that would actually have to be quite a decent amount of money, because Texas is not close to us.
Texas is not close.
It is not.
All right, you guys. I don't know what else to say besides I got links, tools, affiliation codes. Check everything out I got going on. Thank you for coming out here. Keep your BTC safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.